From a mom who forgets her child in Chicago to a mom who forgets her children are even in the next room.
Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Is Wednesday, February 4th. It is officially February. I guess when you listen to this last, it was still February, but to me it wasn't. So, I try and make little tweaks here and there throughout my recording journey. This is episode 125, by the way. Welcome to episode 125. Yeah, you think that I would be an expert by now, but I have learned a lot. And I have had many setbacks on this. I actually had to re-download this app that I'm recording on again for no reason. This app is so good and it's so bad. There's really no in between. I guess it's more good than bad, but it has a lot of glitches and it's so frustrating. The other thing that's nice is it saves everything to the cloud pretty frequently. So if something happens, it most likely will save it for me. But then it has little glitches here and there, and it's so annoying. Yeah, I feel like I need to get better lighting, which I actually have. I just don't know how to use it. My friend Jackson gave me really nice lighting setup. I just don't know how to use it. So he's gonna have to come down here and set it up for me. Other than that, I feel like I like my background, my little setup. I need to get more shelves, more stuff to put my things on. Maybe I'll set the camera farther back just so you can see more of my stuff. But yeah, it's just baby steps, what do they say, 10,000 hours? So I have 9,000 more to go. We have a lot to talk about, and I really debated on trying out this new thing where I record one long episode and cut it into two and start to do 2 episodes per week, but I don't think I'm there yet. So we'll see how this goes. So to go back to my first initial intro to this podcast episode, it's just I am in such shock that Catherine O'Hara has passed away. It's one of those things where it popped up on my phone. Maybe I was scrolling through Instagram and it showed up and I was like, this can't be real. This cannot be real. And I kept scrolling and it's just more and more articles saying that she had passed away. I'm like, no, she's only 71. It was complete shock. And some famous people, they do not announce that they're sick. They kind of just keep it to themselves, and then they eventually pass away. And then afterwards, it said the family will release a statement saying that they have been sick, but they just didn't want anybody to know. I'm wondering if that's the case. I don't think that there are any reports out of what has happened. They did say she was ill at her house in Hollywood, but I don't know if that was with the flu or cold or cancer, But yeah, it's so sad. And I don't know. I just she is such I know she's Canadian, but she's an American sweetheart at this point. And her character, Moira, will probably go down in history as one of the most intriguing, interesting, funny, most beloved characters of all time. And the fact that she was only going to do 1 year of the show because she wanted to kind of be retired. I saw a clip of her and it was Dan Levy. They were talking about creating the show. And they're like, Dan's like, well, do you think you can get Catherine to at least do this 15-minute, quick, I guess they had to do a quick, it's not a audition, but just to kind of show the producers what the show would be about. And she agreed, and then they got picked up, and they're like, "Hey, do you think you can get her to do more?" And they're like, "I have no idea." And they're like, "Well, just commit to 1 year. If you don't want to do it after a year, that's fine. But just go, on your way, do whatever." And I think she ended up loving the role because she obviously did the whole series. And could you imagine if she didn't do that? How different the show would be? Would it even be as successful as it was in the first place? I don't know. It's just sad. It's so, so sad. Her breakout role was in Beetlejuice, I'm pretty sure. That was kind of what brought her to the map. But everyone always has the same things to say about her. She was so kind and so funny and so down to earth and just a good person. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. The first thing I saw her in was obviously Home Alone. And I don't know, Macaulay Culkin's post for her, it was a picture of them looking at each other from the Home Alone days to a picture of them looking together now. And she was at his Hollywood star ceremony. I don't know, it's just very, very sad. A legend has been lost. And I don't know. Is it going to be hard to watch the show now? I haven't watched it since she passed away, Schitt's Creek, but it's just going to be sad. It's going to be like RIP every time you see her on screen, but her legacy lives on. So sad. So sad. Yeah, she's only 71. It's so weird. It doesn't seem possible, but it is. Goes. I saw 3 movies this week, one at home, not at my home, but my friend's home, and 2 in the theaters. I saw Send Help. I guess this was last week, but whatever. I saw Send Help with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. This movie, I really didn't know what to expect, but it was good. I highly recommend going to see it. I think it's rated R. I'm not really sure. There are some parts that are kind of gory, so you just kind of have to get with that. Basically, the premise is Rachel McAdams works for Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien inherits the company Rachel works for from his father. Rachel was supposed to get a promotion, she doesn't, but he still tags her along because she knows everything. She like runs that department and all the numbers and stuff. So they're going on a business trip and he's like, "Well, I have to take her because she knows all this stuff." Anyway, the plane ends up crashing. They crash on a deserted island and he is having a hard time adjusting while she is not because she has trained. She's auditioned for Survivor multiple times and loves books on surviving and survival tips and tricks, so she's in heaven. He is not. And anyway, the roles reverse of who is in charge now. There's just a lot of twists and turns, a lot of like, it's funny, it's thrilling, there are some scary, spooky parts. But yeah, if you're wanting to go see like a good movie, this one I recommend 100%. Um, but I was just going to say, Rachel McAdams, her movies have now grossed over $3.4 billion, and that makes her one of the highest earning actors in Hollywood, which is so cool. Like, wouldn't that be so cool to have that on your resume? And it's just amazing to think that she recorded The Notebook and Mean Girls in the same year. So, you know what's also another underrated movie of hers? I saw this on Twitter yesterday. It said, "What was a movie that you didn't expect to be very good, but it ended up being extremely good and you liked it?" And that is Game Night. If you have not seen Game Night with Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman, yeah, you're missing out. That movie is actually so funny. My cousin and I watched it a few years ago, and both of us, we didn't like go into it expecting it to be bad or hating it, but we were kind of blown away. So I recommend that movie also. It's very funny. We also went and saw the Paris Hilton documentary, Infinite Icon. It's like a mixture of a documentary mixed in with like her concert. I think it was her first concert in a long time. It's kind of like the Katy Perry documentary where it like goes through her teenage dream era while she's recording slash going on tour slash getting divorced. Like it's just like a mixture. Like I'll do like documentary type stuff, bits of the concert, and then more documentary. And so it was a little long. It was longer than we thought, but we didn't mind because it's Paris Hilton. And it's just fun to see just kind of like the business mind of her. If you have not seen her documentary, what is it? It's not This Is Paris. No, I think it is This Is Paris. It's on YouTube. That's when she finally talks about her abuse that she received at the boarding school she went to. It wasn't even boarding school. Torture camp that she was sent to. I was also thinking, I was like, it's amazing to me what happened to her in that school camp thing, like knowing who her family was. Did they not think that that might look bad on them if that ever got out? Like, they didn't know that she wasn't going to go home and not tell a single soul for, I don't know, 20 years. Like, she could have gone out or gotten out and went and told her family right away. And the Hiltons, like, you wouldn't want the Hiltons to come after you. So it's just kind of amazing that they were so um not worried about what they were doing to her, and they're getting back out once she got out. Do you know how she got out? I think it was before she was 18, because once you're 18, you can obviously leave. But she called her parents finally. She was able to get a hold of them because they wouldn't let her talk to her parents very long. And she said, "If you do not come and get me out of this right now, I will write a tell-all book when I get out, and I will expose everything." And that's how she finally got her parents to come get her. To be fair, her parents did not know what they were getting themselves into. Even she says it in this documentary. She says they fool the parents. They show clips and pictures and commercials of these kids like camping and just like having fun and playing games when really it's like she says she has back problems still from carrying boulders, maybe not boulders, but huge rocks and like tree stumps and just like they make it into like manual labor. That one was good. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. I think it was just for the weekend, but I am fairly accurate. It's going to be on some kind of streaming service. Her book I have not yet read, and I've heard it's pretty good. So she's been on a couple podcasts recently, kind of promoting this, and even the Skinny Confidential Lauren Bostic says her book is very, very good. So it's on my list to read next. I'm almost finished with my book club book. I feel so accomplished because in high school, well, in any school, I never did my homework. I just did not. When I went home, I'm not going to do schoolwork. I'm so sorry. I didn't have that mentality. And who knows, maybe it's my ADHD that was doing it. I'm manifesting that I have ADHD because I'm going to see the doctor. And I have this fear. People are like, why don't you just go and like find out? And I'm like, because I don't want them to think I'm lying. And it's like, who cares? Who cares if some rando doctor thinks that I'm lying? But I'm not. I'm not gonna be lying about any of this stuff. So I need to set up my appointment. I need to go get tested. And I'm like 9,000% sure I have it. But I just got home. I was like, I can't focus on this when there are a million other things that I could be doing. Like watching the Kardashians or literally anything else that I could distract myself with from doing homework. But that being said, I am doing very well with my book club book, and it's getting good. If you guys want a good like thriller kind of mystery, Local Woman Missing, I can't, Mary Kubik, I think is who writes it. It's good. I recommend it so far. So I also ordered two more books. I ordered Chris Appleton's book, Your Roots Don't Define You. I ordered Jeanette McCurdy's new book, Half His Age. And I think in a couple episodes ago, I said it was based on her life. I don't think that's true. Maybe there's some aspects of it because I am fairly certain when I read her book, she dated some older man. Am I correct? If I'm not correct, let me know. If I am, let me know. So it could be loosely based off that, but I think it's a teacher and a student is who it's about. I also ordered a book that the author in the Paris Hilton documentary was in. It's called Toxic. It's about like the early thousands fame and like kind of how they treated the women of that time. And I was like, that is a book for me. That is something I would eat right up. So yeah, I don't think you can watch Paris Hilton in theaters anymore, but trust, I'm sure that will resurface somewhere else. Okay, and then the other movie I watched was Josephine, and it was a Sundance movie. My friend got like this package for Christmas, and it came with 10 in-person movies and then 5-ish at-home movies you can watch. You only have so long to watch them. And this one I had heard about as Channing Tatum, which Channing Tatum just posted a photo this morning of him in a hospital bed, and it said something about another trial. Anyway, it was like an optimistic post, but clearly something is not right with him because he's looks like he's going into surgery for something. So hopefully it's gonna be okay. I like Channing Tatum. I feel like he is someone who would stand up for you if you're being bullied, you know? Like he wasn't gonna let that happen. Like he's like that nice, just big, strong teddy bear type where he just seems genuine and kind, but he's also like macho and can like throw a car over your head. You know what I mean? But like you just feel safe in his presence. Kind of like how I'd feel around The Rock, you know? He's just like so big and strong, but you just kind of would feel safe in his presence. Um, so yeah, I hope he's okay. Anyway, this movie has him and Gemma Chan in it. Gemma Chan is from Crazy Rich Asians. Her character is probably one of my favorites. She's just like so extremely wealthy, but super kind and just like mild and just even tempered, which is so crazy. I mean, if you haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians by now, it's been out for a long time. Just the fact that someone could cheat on her is crazy in that movie. It's crazy. Just because he was insecure that she made more money than him or had more money than him. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. I wouldn't care. As long as I got to live that lifestyle, I would not care. Anyway, this movie, Josephine, was extremely heavy. It starts off with like the first, I don't know, 10 minutes is a scene about sexual assault. So, like, it is in detail, it is hard to watch. The premise is this little girl sees a woman being attacked, and she's the only witness to it. It shows her processing it throughout the movie and just how she's supposed to handle it, how her brain is handling it. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't want to give anything away, but this movie is not a light movie. So if you want to watch it eventually when it comes out, it's a very good one. Like I highly appreciated it and it was done very well. Channing is the father of the little girl, Gemma's the mother of the little girl, and they're just trying to figure out because she's starting to act out in this movie and they're not sure like how to help her because they obviously know why because they know that she witnessed this thing and then it goes into her having to testify against the man to put him away. Anyway, it just shows how much pressure and what is put on a little girl, and just like what she witnessed was absolutely horrific for anyone to witness, but let alone a child. Yeah, so if it ever comes out and you want to watch something like that, that is good. Just warning you, it is not a funny movie. It is not, it's a very, very serious movie. So, but it was good. This is the little girl's first acting job ever. I think she saw the little girl at a grocery store, the director, and the director said it was based on events that had happened in her life that kind of resurfaced, and she needed a way to express it and get it out. But this was the little girl's very first role. Mind you, she had the same facial expression like pretty much the entire movie. But for what it was and the subject matter, she did a very good job. We watched an interview after of Channing and Gemma and the little girl on stage with the director doing a Q&A. And just like the bond that Channing and the little girl had was, I think the little girl's name is Mason, was like sweet. You could just tell that he's like the fatherly type and just was like super playful and protective and whatnot. Anyway, it was good to see. Yeah, those are what I saw this week. This coming week I'm going to see The Moment by Charlie XCX. I actually just ordered the credit card that it's not real, but it's like a Brat credit card. And I almost didn't order it because I thought it was an actual bank called Howard Sterling, and I'm like, well, that's obviously like on the East Coast or something, so I'm not gonna open up a new bank account just to get this credit card. Apparently, it's a play on something from the movie. I don't know who Howard Sterling is, but the credit card is not real. So you can order it just through howardsterling.com, and it was like $10 and they sent it to you in the mail. So wait for my Brat credit card to show up. Maybe I'll try not to max that one out too. But yeah, so I'm excited to see that. I don't think I'm seeing any other movies coming out. The following week, we're going to see Wuthering Heights, an early preview of that, and they say we get a free gift. And I said, I hope my free gift is a cardboard cutout of Jacob Elordi, because that would just be, I don't know, something that is needed. Could you imagine him just standing right here? My cousin once had a cardboard cutout of Justin Bieber for his documentary. Has he had two documentaries? It was for like the My World 2.0 one, where like the purple era, you know? And she had it in her room. I don't even think she was that big of a fan of him. I don't know why her friend gave that to her, but every time she'd walk into her room or someone would, you just see a silhouette of him, and it would freak us all out. I don't know what this secret gift is. I hope it's kind of like a ticket like this that you can keep, you know? This was when we got our Target exclusive Life of a Showgirl tickets. They actually weren't even going to give us this because I think by the time we got there, everyone had come and gone. And they're like, wait, do you want a ticket? And I was like, yes. Yes, you have no idea how badly I want a ticket to display on my wall. Speaking of which, they just announced that I don't know who they are, but they are they, and they just announced that Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi were gifted these rings on the set. It says Margot Robbie was gifted matching rings for herself and Jacob Elordi on the set of Wuthering Heights. The rings were inscribed with a quote from the original novel: "Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same." So yeah, these kind of, I don't know, they kind of look like class rings. They're kind of ugly. In my opinion, I'm sorry, they're kind of ugly. She's not going to be wearing that anywhere. I just know that for sure. He might, but I don't think she will. Okay, let's talk about The Beauty. So The Beauty is that new TV show on FX, and there are 4, maybe 5 episodes out now. It is basically The Substance in a TV show form. It's different how you get the beauty. In The Substance, you take the substance. It's like a shot. I think it's a shot you take. In The Beauty, you have sex with somebody who also has the beauty. I don't know how the beauty starts for that to happen. It's one of Ryan Murphy's first TV shows that is not inherently homosexual. Most of his stuff is very, very gay. This one is more hetero. I think it's because someone else is producing the show with him. But yeah, so far no. I mean, there's a gay character, but a lot of shirtless men, that's for sure. A lot of naked men, but no like themes of it just being a super gay show. Anyway, it's just about rich people getting to be beautiful. And I just always wonder because Isaac Powell, no. Ben Platt gets infected by it because one of his friends from work, they work at Vogue together, got the beauty, and apparently some of her saliva or blood or something got into his eye, then infected him. So he didn't technically have sex to get it, but he turns into Isaac Powell. Now, I just want to know how that conversation goes with casting. Like, how do you go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I have this role for you. You're the ugly part, and you will be turning into someone beautiful. Would you like it?" How do you do that to somebody? You know what I mean? And it's not even just Ben Platt, it's the other characters in this movie, or this TV show, where it's like this one guy, one of the main characters, is just this like sad, pathetic guy that lives in his mom's basement. He's super mean to his mom. He's an incel. He is on chat sites. He's just like a sad, sad person. But it's like that's a real person in real life that you're making fun of. And I don't know how you have the conscience to write this part for this person. Anyway, it makes for good television, but it's interesting. I would recommend watching it. It's on Hulu. Supposedly, you can now watch Hulu shows on Disney Plus. So the merger is slowly going through. For me, I don't have Disney Plus. The only streaming service I have right now is HBO, and it is one that I have had all the time, but I switched my account because at the beginning of the year they had this deal going on. I was at the gym doing my incline walk, not in the movie room because it was full, so I had to go out in the peasant area and walk on the treadmill. Sorry, my voice. And walk on the treadmill. They had an ad and it said get 12 months of HBO Max for $3.99. And I was like, I can handle a few ads for $3.99 a month. So I have that now. I only pay $3.99. Wow, I can't say that. I only pay $3.99 for HBO Max, and I calculated it because I was paying $18.50, like $19 a month on that, and I wasn't even paying the highest package. There's another higher package for like $25, but I added it up. I'm saving over $200 just on that a year. So that's the only one I pay for, and I may or may not dabble in other people's. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I don't want the law to come after me. But yeah, I haven't had Disney Plus in a year. I actually was going through my subscriptions and noticed that I hadn't been paying for Disney for over a year, and sometimes I miss it, sometimes I don't. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious what the price increase is going to be like once Hulu is officially all Disney. Speaking of Disney, Disney has announced the new successors to Bob Iger. I love how it's going to take two people to replace Bob Iger. I watched an interview yesterday. So Josh Diarmo, I think is his name, is Josh Diarmo, and then Dana, what's her name? I'll pull it up in a minute. But he is the CEO of Disney, and he was on a interview yesterday with what's his name? What is that guy's name? Michael something. Oh my gosh, what is his name? No, David Muir. It's not even Michael. David Muir. Was in an interview with him and Bob Iger, and he said to be able to shadow and work with the greatest CEO of all time is like an honor. And it really is. Bob Iger is an amazing CEO. I've said it before, but his book, if you're curious, like if you like books like that, is very, very good. Like just like listening to the things that he has done, and he's just so humble and so kind. And he started off as a assistant at ABC before ABC was acquired by Disney, and it might have even been no, it was ABC because they bought a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, it just goes into like detail of like his career, and now he's worth like $700 million and is super successful. He actually came back. If you're unaware, he's already retired from Disney, and they brought him back after the Dave Chapek, is that what his name is? The last CEO just like kind of was running the company into the ground, so they got rid of him. And he's been back for 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years. And he's finally done. He doesn't look as old as he is. He's in his 70s, I think, and he's just still kicking. But he is done March 18th is his last day, but he'll stay on the company throughout the rest of the year just in case people have questions. And I promise you, people are going to have questions. But yeah, his book is called The Ride of a Lifetime, and it's one I would put at the top of my list to recommend to people. Anyway, let's find out who the other lady is. A lot of people are kind of upset because they think that this lady should have been put in charge of all of it. What's her name? Dana Walden, to become the president and chief creative officer of the Walt Disney World Company, or Walt Disney Company, sorry. She will be in charge of like Hollywood, like all of the creative things, like the movies and TV shows and stuff like that. And Josh will be in charge of pretty much everything else. But there have been some articles I've seen where people are like, the glass ceiling is still intact, even though Dana Walden is the first president. It's like they made a new role for her. She's the first female president, executive, whatever, of the whole company. So that's kind of a huge achievement, but still, they've kind of kept the reins on her. Her contract goes through 2030, and Josh's has no end date. So that is interesting. I wonder if they put two people in charge this time because of what happened last time with Dave Chapek. Bob Chapek. It's not Dave. It's Bob Chapek. But yeah, they talked about, or Robert talked about in his book when he first got there or was in the executive position of Disney, someone, I think it was a COO or CFO, was just doing a terrible job and just kind of, I think overall just kind of a bad person. And they wanted him out. And in order to get rid of him, they had to pay him $100 million severance package, which is completely crazy. That is so much money to have to fire somebody. But it was that bad that they were willing to pay it. Imagine imagine how you'd feel if someone disliked you so badly they were willing to pay $100 million for you to go away. Would you be offended? Would you be sad? I don't know if I would. I'd be like, you know what? Adios. I will take my 100 million and I will go away in peace and I will leave you guys alone. Speaking of Disney, Zootopia is now the highest grossing film of all time outside of Hollywood. Did I say that right? Yeah, let's see. It says Zootopia 2 has achieved historic box office success, becoming the highest grossing American animated film of all time, with over 1.7 billion in global revenue as of mid-January. Driven by massive international success, including over $600 million in China, the film broke records for the fastest animated film to reach a billion. There was talk of it being, yeah, here we go. Zootopia 2 becomes the highest grossing Hollywood film in China. And this is kind of interesting. It says Disney revealed a genuinely staggering statistic during its first quarter earnings call. Of the 60 films that have generated at least $1 billion at the box office, Disney Studios are responsible for 37 of them. That's more than 60% of the billion-dollar films. The nearest competitor generates a fraction of that volume. The gap isn't just about financial success, it's about competitive moat so wide that the studios can't actually compete. Zootopia 2 exemplifies exactly why Disney's position is untouchable. The film grossed 1.7 billion in ticket sales, cementing itself as the highest grossing animated film of all time. It's genuinely impressive. So I keep reading it's the highest film in China. So that might have been what I read, but I think it's one of the highest grossing films of all time outside of the US. Anyway, that's kind of amazing, honestly, if you think about it. Have that much success. Interesting. Okay, what is next? Apparently there's a Stranger Things animated series coming, and someone so tweeted, they're like, when are you gonna give it up? Like, it's time. It's time to just like let it die, let it rest. You fumbled the bag on the season series finale. I don't know. To me, I'm kind of over Stranger Things. It's done. It's been here. It broke all kinds of records. It was whatever. But, I think 10 years is enough. I think we're good. I think we can put it to rest. But apparently, there's going to be an animated show. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more where that's coming from. This one was fun. Carly Rae Jepsen is pregnant, but she says there will be an album this year. So that's kind of exciting. I don't know if that's a rumor or what. But Whitney Levitt just debuted on Broadway for her Roxy Hart performance, and it says all of the Mormon wives showed up to support Whitney Levitt on her opening night. And I was counting the picture. I was like, not all of you are here. You can't fool me or anyone else. Demi was not there. From the pictures that I saw, maybe she was there somewhere else, but I highly doubt that she was there. And apparently she did very well. So good for you, Whitney. I hope that the success continues and you just thrive in this new life that you have. It is crazy to see the 180 you did in my mind from season 1 to now, but good for you. Good for you. But speaking of that, Taylor Frankie Paul is now the spokesperson or one of them for Zupas, at least right now. She is a part of their Valentine's campaign. It's like a strawberry cup that you can get and you put chocolate all over it, and it's just like supposed to be like sensual. And the video they have playing of her in the store is her like just like being so sensual and seductive and like making it look appealing, you know what I mean? Like very Valentine's-esque, very sexy. And my mom was like, look how cute that is. That's so fun. Like, look at her. She like twirls in this dress, and then as soon as she twirls around, it changes to like a red dress. She's like, look how fun that is. I was like, do you know who that is? She's like, no, I have no idea. I was like, that's one of the Mormon wives. She's like, oh. She's like, I wouldn't have known. Like, it's a good thing you have me. Lisa Rinna, she has recently walked the Schiaparelli show in think it's Paris. I think Paris Fashion Week is going on now, which I've said it before, but I think Paris Fashion Week happens every other month. I swear, there's always something going on in Paris with Fashion Week. But she did well. She did very good. She is Lisa effing Renna, like what she always says, and she's in Traders. If you're caught up, you know, you know. If you're not caught up, um, yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty good. Anyway, she also has a book coming out February 24th called You Better Believe I'm Going to Talk About It, which is kind of like her slogan or whatever. She's always going to talk about it. She'll talk about whatever. She is just so iconic and I love her so much. Her one-liners, like, were people doing coke in your bathroom? Were what else has she said? Let's talk about your arrest, Kim. Let's talk about your arrest. And one of my favorites is when she's talking to Denise Richards and she's like, ooh, you're so angry. Can you imagine being that confrontational? Like, what would that be like? How would that feel? Or when she said, you told my sister that she was close to death, and her face, it's like, I don't remember saying that. She said it. It's true, she said it. Kim Kardashian apparently has a new lover, this time in the sports world again, but a very, very different sport. Racing. Lewis Hamilton, I don't even know, do you race for a team? Or are you just on your own? It's kind of like tennis. Apparently she flew, I don't know where she flew to, but apparently it was a one-night date and she brought 8 suitcases and a whole entourage of security and whatnot, you know, because I mean, she's Kim Kardashian. And they had one date and then she flew home. But it seems to be not a rumor. So it seems to be actually happening. I just hope that he treats her well. I mean, at this point, these poor girls just cannot pick men for anything. Like, why? Why is it so hard? Like, we were talking about how Paris Hilton found her husband Carter, and he is genuinely the nicest person in the whole wide world. And we're like, why can't the Kardashians do that? I mean, Timothy Chalamet, I think Kylie's got a good one there. Travis Barker is very, very kind and a good guy. So that one I can see she did very well. Chloe, poor thing, you can tell she's genuinely scared and scarred for dating. And then Kim, I mean, I don't know, Chloe's and Kim's, it's like which one's is worse? You know, it's kind of hard to pick, but who knows? If you've not listened to Kim on Chloe's podcast, I highly recommend it. It's 2 parts and it's very fascinating. Kim has just had a fascinating life since birth, and it's just not fair, you know. Definitely one of God's favorites. And Kylie Jenner has partnered with Lemmy, which is Courtney's brand. It's her vitamin brand. I just have a feeling they're pumping these things out like no other. I don't know. It just seems like they're putting a lot out very quickly. I'm like, what? Are you guys gonna run out of stuff to do? Like, are you gonna have enough shelf space to do this? But this one is Lemmy Glow. It's supposed to help your skin glow, which I mean, there are so many that I want to try, but these supplements are like $40 each. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I cannot even buy one. I have to my budget right now is so small. It's like I have to decide do I want vitamins or do I want skincare? Like my skincare now has been so cut back, which I'm finding that, you know, you really don't need the most expensive stuff to have good skin, but also expensive stuff does work. It's not like it doesn't work, it's just more overpriced. I will say tried and true for me is Olay. Olay products work very, very well. They're not super cheap, but they're not overly expensive. You can get them at Walmart. You actually can get them cheaper on Amazon. Amazon usually has a discount. So what I use is the Honest Beauty, which now you can buy on Amazon exclusively. They got rid of their website. Face wash, which is like 13 bucks and it lasts a long time. I get beef tallow from I can't remember which brand I get. I'll put it here in case you're wondering. I was so mad because they have a orange scented flavor. Is it flavor? I guess you could eat it, so technically you can eat beef tallow. And a lot of people don't like fragrance stuff. Fragrance stuff does not bother me. It doesn't bother my skin. Doesn't give me a headache. So fragrance to me is not a deal breaker. I know people say, well, even with that, it's not good for your skin. I don't care. But when I reordered my beef tallow, I got the original scent. I mean, it doesn't really smell like anything, but the orange one made my face smell like those Pillsbury orange rolls, which I love. Those are so good. And then I'm still trying to use up my Outset sunscreen, which I love. I just cannot afford it. But I'm going to go back to my Olay, which has sunscreen in it, and the Olay Whips is what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll try and put it in my hand right here. This is what I'm talking about. The Olay Whips has sunscreen in it, and then I've been using the Olay, what is it called? Retinol? retinol thing. I put that on at night and then I lather my face in beef tallow. And it seems to be working. So that's kind of my very, very scaled back skincare at the moment. You know what I really love is the Kiehl's night oil. I'm gonna do this again. The Kiehl's night oil. That has lasted me a long time too. And I think that works a lot, but it is like $95 a bottle. And I'm like, unfortunately I cannot do that. So I don't think I'll be buying Let Me Glow anytime soon, unfortunately, but oh well, there are, other things in this world. Speaking of Kardashians, Ray J, who dated Kim, isn't he the one that had the sex tape with her? It's so interesting how many people are interested in that sex tape. I could care less. Like, people are like, what about her sex tape? That's the only reason she's famous. I'm like, that is not the only reason she's famous. She's famous because she's good at being famous and a good businesswoman. That just happened to be in the zeitgeist of her getting famous. But I think that's who it was. Anyway, he has made an announcement that his heart is pumping at 25% and he will most likely be gone in the next year. He said, I thought my body could handle all the alcohol and Adderall and drugs, but it could not, which is not a shock because most people's bodies cannot handle that kind of pressure. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what he does. What does Ray J do for work? Should we find out? What does Ray J do for a living? Does he still sing? He's a multi-hyphenate entrepreneur, singer, actor, and reality TV personality. What has he acted in? Anyway, that's not important. I was just curious what he does. That is so, like, how would you feel if you were told that? Like, you only have so long to live. Like, what? I mean, people out there have had that happen to them, obviously. It just kind of would be a shock to the system, wouldn't it? Like, I don't know. I would spiral. I know that. I know that. So, okay, let's talk about the Grammys. The Grammy winners and the performers. I absolutely hated Justin Bieber's performance. I'm sorry. It was completely lackluster. Everyone's like, I love the stripped down, sexy, like in my bedroom, like feel. No, I'm sorry. I just, it wasn't for me. It just goes to show, like, not that I think people are discrediting Sabrina Carpenter's performance, but her performance to his performance, yeah, let's just say the bar is set low for men in Hollywood and the bar is set really high for women in Hollywood. And someone, I think it was whoever was in charge of uh, performances at the Grammys, said Justin Bieber only used 7 minutes of his 1.5 hour allotted rehearsal time. And someone's like, yeah, trust, we could tell. It's not that I don't think he's talented. I think he has a very good voice and stuff. It's just the bare minimum. I'm so tired of these men, except for Benson Boone. Benson Boone puts in the work. Other than that, like the men in Hollywood just don't do it, and they get all these accolades, and it's just so frustrating. The fact that his album Swag was nominated for so many Grammys was disheartening. I don't know. It wasn't it for me. I don't know. I feel like Post Malone puts on a good show. Did you guys see Post Malone was wearing a hat that said Spanish Fork? Me and my friends had a watch party. They're like, his hat says Spanish Fork on it. I'm like, I bet you it says Fiesta Days, which is their like week-long rodeo festival celebration that they have in the summer. And it did. It did say Fiesta Days. It's so interesting how much he loves Utah and just like supports it and loves it. Okay, here we go. Also, Trevor Noah, he announced that I think this was his last year doing it, or maybe next year is his last. I have nothing against him. He's just not a good host. If you watched and saw just how long he drug out the whole Bad Bunny, was it a skit? Was it a segment? I don't know. We're not really sure what it was, but even Bad Bunny was kind of like, I guess I'll play along with this. I don't know. Again, Nikki Glazer hosted the Golden Globes. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Funny, fun. She was quick with her little segments, and then the show moved on. Trevor Noah just dragged on and on. I'm like, okay, I think you need to not do this anymore. And he even said it. So, okay, let's see. Let's announce the winners. Live on this podcast, let's announce the winners. So the nominees for, let's see, what is this? Record of the Year were APT, Rosé and Bruno Mars, The Subway, Chapel Roan, Abracadabra, Lady Gaga, Wildflower, Billie Eilish, and a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, Wildflower. This song came out in 2024, so why are we nominating it? And someone's like, well, if your album or whatever didn't win in 2025 or for the next Grammys, you are eligible to put up your next single for the following Grammys. I'm like, what kind of dumbass rule is that? That what? I like who was it? People were like, yeah, Charlie XCX is dragging this brat thing out way too long. And someone's like, no, we can't really say that anymore because Billie Eilish is dragging out Hit Me Hard and Soft or whatever it's called way too long. And I like Billie Eilish. I do. It's good that she's calling out all these rich people to donate and stuff. And she's obviously donated herself. I'm sure she has. But it's like when she calls out like capitalism and like basically targeting Taylor Swift for having so many different variants and whatever of things, but then the way she signs her records is splashing paint all over them, and then she has a perfume line that she promotes. I'm like, that's capitalism. That is capitalism. Like, I don't know why you think you're above everyone else, but you're doing the same thing. Maybe not on a as big of a scale, but you're still promoting stuff to sell. And I like her perfume. So, it's just interesting. It's kind of a double standard, but whatever. Anxiety by Doechii, Manchild by Sabrina Carpenter, and DTMF by Bad Bunny, and also Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA. That was Record of the Year, and that won for that category, which I thought that was last year as well. Is this the 68th Grammys? Yeah, it was. Album of the Year went to Bad Bunny. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I will butcher the saying of it, but others in this category were Tyler, the Creator, Leon Thomas, Kendrick Lamar, Lady Gaga, Clips, Pusha T, and Malice, Sabrina Carpenter, and Justin Bieber. I personally thought it should have went to Mayhem or Man's Best Friend, but that is just me. Also, I think that Sabrina Carpenter's performance should have been Goodbye, Nobody's Son, or House Tour. Manchild for me is just not it. I don't know why. It's not a bad song, but it's not like one of her strongest in my opinion. Or Tears. She should have done Tears. That's a good one too. Okay, Song of the Year. The winner was Wildflower by Billie Eilish. Again, a good song. Not my favorite album, not my favorite song. Why are we nominating this song in 2026? But whatever. Other songs in this were Manchild, Luther, Golden, which I'm actually surprised Golden didn't win from K-pop Demon Hunters. DTMF by Bad Bunny, APT by Rose and Bruno Mars, Anxiety by Doechii and Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. Best New Artist, this one, I don't hate the person that won. I don't dislike them, but I really don't know much about them. Olivia Dean won, which I think is very deserved of it, but I was wanting Addison Rae to win so badly. To me, she's an artist. Like she obviously, well, not obviously, she doesn't have the strongest vocals, we will say that, but she's a good artist. She's good at creating like interesting things that people like to look at and listen to and sounds and whatnot. So I was kind of upset about that. Oh, this one was crazy. Okay, so Songwriter of the Year, non-classical, the winner was Amy Allen. The only other person I know in this, actually, I don't know anybody else in this, so we won't even go there. But I want to show you or bring up the songs that she's worked on or the artists that she's worked with. Yeah, it's 2 whole pages of huge songs. Okay, she's written 223 songs for other people. I'm assuming other people. Listen to this list of songs: Espresso, Without Me, APT, Greedy, Adore You, Please Please Please, Taste, Back to You, Feather, Bedchem, Be Kind. I love that song, Be Kind with Halsey. That song is so good. Matilda, Manchild, Juno, On the Ground, Cover Me in Sunshine, Just Keep Watching, Run for the Hills, Graveyard, Good Graces, and So Easy for Olivia Dean, who won for Best New Artist. That is crazy. Could you imagine having all those songs under your belt? I would just feel so confident and accomplished. This one actually surprised me, and I like this person that won, but I'm surprised. Best Pop Solo Performance went to Lola Young for Messy. She also performed. Did you know she is part Chinese and part Jamaican? I didn't know that, and she's British. What a trio. Others in this category were The Subway, Chappell Roan, Disease, Lady Gaga, Manchild, Sabrina Carpenter, and Daisy's Justin Bieber. Interesting. I don't think they showed this part on TV. This is Best Pop Duo Group Performance. The winner was Defying Gravity by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. I had no idea. Others in that category were APT by Rose and Bruno Mars, 30 for 30, SZA with Kendrick Lamar, Gabriella, Kacey, and Golden, K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm shocked that Golden wasn't winning. Best Pop Local Album went to Lady Gaga again. It's the first time that she's won that category since The Fame Monster, which I've been told so many times that that's not an album, but apparently it was at the Grammys. I don't know. I feel like Man's Best Friend should have won something. I just feel like it should have won something, but it didn't win anything. The album's really good. Also in that category was Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus, and that album was also, I don't listen to it a lot, but it is a very, very well done, very well produced, well thought out album. I recommend listening to it if you have not. And I think, oh, here we go. Best Dance Pop Recording was Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. Others in this category were Illegal by Pink Panthers, Just Keep Watching, Tate McRae, Midnight Sun, Zara Larson, and Bluest Flame by Selena Gomez. I love Abracadabra, but it would have been so fun to have Midnight Sun win. Could you imagine? Sarah Larson is just on the up and up right now, and I wish that she could get some kind of. Wow, Lady Gaga won 3 awards that night. Did she? Maybe more. But it also won for Abracadabra Best Remixed Recording with producer Gesaffelstein. Yeah. Speaking of Sabrina Carpenter, she is rumored to be going on a Man's Best Friend tour, which I could see that happening because she's doing the Coachella, her Coachella headlining set, and then I could see her afterwards going on tour because someone said in the somewhere in her performance, which was really cool, it was like airport themed. There was like a hidden Easter egg of like a hint at a tour, so that could be fun. She's also rumored to be in the new Final Destination 7 movie. That could be interesting. I would like to see her in more like acting roles. She just loves being famous. She's good at it. She loves the spotlight. She's just a showgirl through and through. There's a few more things I wanted to talk about along with the Oscar or the Grammys, but I can't find where I put my list of Grammy stuff. Oh, here we go. Also, I just want to show you guys a list of people who have not won Grammys. Obviously, first on the list is Katy Perry, which I just will never understand. Katy Perry has 13 nominations, 0 wins. Selena Gomez has 3 nominations, 0 wins. Lana Del Rey has 11 nominations, 0 wins. Avril Lavigne, 8 nominations, 0 wins. Nicki Minaj, 12 nominations, 0 wins, and Post Malone, 18 nominations, 0 wins. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Also, Jack Antonoff, he's a pretty well-known name in Hollywood, especially the songwriting songwriting industry. He's been in a band himself. He has his own stuff. He has now won all 4 main categories of the Grammys, which I think is Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year. Isn't that the same? Song of the Year and something else. What's the other one? I don't know. Anyway, he's won all 4 of the main Grammys, which is kind of crazy. And then this one's fun. Steven Spielberg is officially an EGOT. He now has an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. So that's kind of cool. Post Malone has announced the Big Ass Tour Part 2, which is kind of crazy. It's like a long ways in between the last tour. And I don't know if that means he's going to release a new album, but I'm sure it'll sell out. His last stop is in Salt Lake City, which I think was how it was last time. And his special guest is Jelly Roll, who also won an Oscar. He kind of turned into like this weird, it wasn't him in his body when he was giving his speech. Let's just say that. It kind of reminded me of that creepy pastor that I've talked about before. I'm going to insert the clip here because it is at the same time hilarious and terrifying. This man is not human. I think there is something that he's been possessed by that is speaking through him. Just the way that this reporter makes him so angry that he gets so mad, and she does not shake or flinch or waver. That is a journalist. That is a journalist through and through.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. Now, thank you, Lord. Help me. Let me pray this thing.
Well, let me.
Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Well, my question then, okay.
Give me a chance here, Inside Edition. I love your eyes.
Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers. People, I love people. Jesus loves people. But people get pushed in alcohol.
Anyway, that's how I felt about Jelly Roll's acceptance speech. I don't know how to feel about this because it makes me like super sad to think about, because I just love seeing clips from the show. I don't really have time to sit down and watch this show, but I just like it because it's positive. Everyone loves Kelly Clarkson. She's a phenomenal singer. Everyone loves karaoke. They want her to release all of the songs she's done for karaoke onto streaming services. Anyway, she put out this statement. She's like, I have been extremely fortunate to work with such an outstanding group of people at the Kelly Clarkson Show. Both in Los Angeles and New York, there have been so many amazing moments and shows over these 7 seasons. I am forever grateful and honored to have worked alongside the greatest band and crew and you could hope for. All the talent and inspiring people who have shared their time and lives with us, all the fans who have supported our show, and to NBC for always being such a supportive and incredible partner. Because of all of that, this is not an easy decision, but the season will be my last hosting the Kelly Clarkson Show. Stepping away from the daily schedule will allow me to prioritize my kids, which feels necessary and right for this next chapter of our lives. This isn't goodbye. I'll still be making music, playing shows here and there, and you may catch me on The Voice from time to time. You never know where I might end up next. But for now, I want to thank y'all so much for allowing our show to be a part of your lives and for believing in us and hanging with us for 7 incredible years. I can't believe it's been 7 years, but at the same time, I feel like it's way too early to be ending the season. Or the series. I mean, it's sad. I hate when things end, but sometimes it's necessary. Change is good, even though I can't stand it. What else is next? I have a lot to talk about on here. Tim Burton is apparently going to remake The Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, starring Margot Robbie, which should be good. Chelsea Handler is going on a High and Mighty tour. She's not coming to Utah, unfortunately, but you know, if you are in a place where you can see her, I recommend going to see her. She's super funny. They're building a new Waldorf Astoria hotel in Park City, so they must not be too deterred from this terrible snow ski season we've been having. It was like 55 degrees yesterday, and it's February, so that goes to show when we were going up to Sundance, you could just see on the mountain all their machines that were making fake snow for people to go skiing. I'm like, this is so weird. But apparently these will have residential areas and also hotel rooms. So that will be good. Bella Hadid's ex-boyfriend, I didn't know they had broken up, but he's that cowboy guy, was arrested for public intoxication. I don't know if he was arrested for, or drunk from being sad from the breakup, but regardless, he has been booked and I'm sure he's released by now, but you know, whatever. Charlie XCX has declined to sing the song. I don't think she was even asked, but someone was like, how would you feel about recording the new James Bond song? And she's like, I'm just gonna be honest, that's not really my vibe. I don't think my vibe's more auto-tune and just like silly sounds and stuff. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said, that's just not my lane, and I think someone else would do a much better job. We have a new Devil Wears Prada trailer, and someone said, we need men in Hollywood to go back to work because there's no one on the set of Devil Wears Prada to light it properly. And it's true, they did a side-by-side comparison of the Devil Wears Prada and the Devil Wears Prada 2. It's so dark. What is up with all the dark shows? Why can't we have light? That is why I like so much Adam Sandler movies. Like, just go with it. Bright, 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 bright. Fun, optimistic, uplifting. Same with Fly Me to the Moon. That's why I like that show so much. That movie, bright, fun. The lighting production was on set the entire time. I like movies that are bright and fun and easy to watch, not dark. I don't know who edited this, but they need to go back and edit it and make it lighter and brighter. And people are saying Miranda Priestley has dementia or Alzheimer's because she can't remember 2 of her assistants who work for her. And people are like, no, I don't think you're understanding. That is so on brand for Miranda Priestley to not remember. She doesn't remember anybody. Like, she doesn't care so that she's Miranda Priestley. Oh, I'm so excited for this movie. I cannot wait. I'll be there front and center. There's a new show called Love Story by John F. Kennedy. It comes out February 12th on FX. I think it's a Ryan Murphy one. So that should be interesting to watch. Heidi Montag has a new album coming out. I don't know exactly when, but it is coming. This one was interesting to me. Madeline Klein and Lucas Gage are dating, and she even commented on it and said, secrets are so hard to keep, or secrets are so tiring or exhausting or something. So she kind of confirmed it. I don't know if that maybe is sarcastic and she's saying that that's not true. Either way, they're dating now. Madeline Klein is gorgeous. I'm kind of curious what she's going to do next with her career, because Outer Banks is over. She was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, which her role wasn't that prominent, but she was in it. Just kind of curious to see what she does. Okay, I think that might be it today for stuff to talk about. Now we'll do the box office results of the week. So the last weekend, January 30th through February 1st. Send Help made $19.1 million, which is fairly good. Iron Lung, this movie, I had some time to kind of kill, and I was like, maybe I'll go see a movie. I really wanted popcorn. That was kind of what I wanted to go for. So I literally wanted popcorn so badly, I was trying to find a movie to go to. None of the theaters, and there's quite a few in like the area that I'm in, that the showtimes just weren't adding up, or I'd seen all of them, or they're just ones I didn't want to see. So I was like, well, what is Iron Lung about? Apparently it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and they are in a submarine, and the submarine is submerged in blood, I think is the kind of the premise, or like red liquid. but it was completely self-funded, I think, from a YouTuber. It made $17.8 million, so I mean, it did fairly well, but it did not look very good. And I think the audience score wasn't thrilled with it either. Anyway, it made $17.8 million. Melania made $7.2 million. Zootopia 2, $5.9 million. And Avatar Fire and Ash made $5.6 million. I know that's not a lot for I know that's not a lot for Hollywood, but if I earned $5.6 million in one weekend, I'd be happy. I wouldn't complain. Okay, now let's talk about Billboard, the top 200. Okay, the top 5. Number 1 is Aperture by Harry Styles. Number 2 is Choosing Texas by Ella Langley. Never heard of her. Number 3 is Man I Need, Olivia Dean. Number 4 is Golden, the K-pop Demon Hunter song. And number 5 is Fate of Ophelia. That song is just hanging on. I wish it would have stayed afloat and stayed number 1 and beat, like, what was it, Old Town Road? Or was it 20 weeks or something, 19 weeks? It's rumored that she's going to release Opalite as the next single. Oh, also the Super Bowl is coming up. So it's kind of a weird thing. Bad Bunny won the Grammys, and then he's going to perform at the Super Bowl a week later. So interesting. What a life. What an absolute life. I hope you all have a great week. I will see you next week. Subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. If you go to my main Instagram, Kacey K, KACEY_K, you can go to a link and it'll have a link of all like my TikToks and YouTube and where you can listen to the podcast if you want to listen to it instead of watch it. But yeah, I appreciate you listening, and I will talk to you next week.